Hey, everybody, you are listening, watching. I don't know what you're doing. Stop Perspectives. They're smart. They know music, and then they tell you about it. And who am I to deny their opinions? I don't agree with all of them, but they're very charming, especially Rodrigo.
From the cold-bred parasites living on the blood of their creators. The player stands there all alone.
So, hi everyone, and welcome to another interview of Sonic Perspectives. I'm Rodrigo, and today I'm joined by a fellow collaborator of our humble website, Mr. Mark Boardman, who will be introducing our guest. Mark, how are you?
I am doing great, Rod, and it's good to see you up in Canada. And this takes me back. Takes me way back to when I was a little kid. And we all listened in the Midwest to the Rock of Chicago, WLS. That was the rock and roll radio station. And I remember around 1972, they occasionally would play local bands, regional bands. And I heard this powered ballad that came on, and I went, wow. What is that? So I went out and bought the album, and I bought the next album. And before I knew it, later in the 70s, this band had blown up into the biggest thing ever. And that, of course, was Styx. And I have followed not just the career of Styx, but their main man, Dennis DeYoung, ever since that time. And am so pleased that I've done so because the music is still today fresh, and it is compelling. It is a great, great thing, and we are so pleased, Dennis, to have you with us today on Sonic Perspectives.
All I can say, Rodrigo and Mark, is I feel like Analytics. Who am I to disagree? Okay, Mark, are you ready? You
yes, sir.
Thought that happened to you. Lady, when you're with me, I'm smiling. Give me. Whoa, 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 your love. Try that on, Rodrigo.
Awesome. No, I don't have the capacity. I just don't.
Yeah, I don't know what that sounds like. It sounded good where I am.
It sounds great. And back when I was 12, I could do that too. But before we go back, Dennis, you've got a new album out. It's a wonderful album called 26 and East. It is volume 2. It was released on June 11th. How's the reception been so far?
All the people I pay to lie to me love it.
That's right.
The reception has been overwhelmingly positive on both volume 1 and volume 2, because I really didn't want to make these records. My buddy Jim Peterick from Survivor, he talked me into it because I didn't think people really gave a fiddler's fart anymore, because my audience is older, like you, Mark, you old bastard.
Yeah, that's me.
So they're old people, and old people correctly love the music of their youth. This is what they love more than anything else. It's true of me. It's true of everybody. That music you listen to when you're trying to figure out puberty and your place in the world at the ages of 13, teens. I was there. I was part of that by virtue of the fact that I was making music at the greatest time in the history of human beings to be a musician. Never before, never after will there be so many people who place so much adoration, respect on the musicians of my era. I mean, I was lucky by birth. I always make the joke, Mark. I said, I'm so glad that there was no porn for those 15-year-olds. Then nobody would have cared about Styx. Styx or porn? Styx, well, that decision is made. But, it was central to your life. I was one of the guys that was making that music, and they embrace it. How do I know? They still they pay to see me play those songs still to this day handsomely. And when I go on social media and I see the comments on YouTube or wherever people that they meet me, and I can hear them tell me just how much what I was involved in meant to their lives on such a fundamental and humanistic way, I'm absolutely astounded and overwhelmed by it, humbled, truly humbled by the fact that what I was doing at that time had such an impact on people. Because, Mark, I was trying to kick Queen's ass. That's what I was doing. I was trying to bury Aerosmith. I was in the ring, and the fact that some of the things that we did and I did, and the things I had to say to them lyrically, they have taken and made part of the fabric of their life, never ceases to amaze me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. And tell me about the new album. What was the rationale for splitting them into volumes?
When Peterick had this idea that my music needed to be heard by the world, I told him, have him text me, for Christ's sake. I don't believe any of that. I think the world is just fine without me. You listen, as de Gaulle said, the cemeteries are filled with men who thought they were irreplaceable. So for me, he talked me into it by sending me a couple songs. I've been sitting on this Zoom now for I have to stretch my legs. I'm old. People, I'm 74.
That's all right.
Yeah. So he said, let me send you a song I've been working on. He sent me something, and it was very good. I said, all right, Jim, there's no reason to make an album and bother Mark and Rodrigo with new music if it isn't quality songwriting, because without songs, there's no point to any of this. I tell all young bands, listen, work on, your look if that's what you're into, or your sound, but write some good songs. The world needs good songs. If you can't write a good song, Barber College, that would be a good, a good path for you to take. So I told Jim this album, first one album will be a concept album, and the concept will be don't suck. That's it. We started writing songs. We wrote 8, just like that. But when it was all said and done, I wrote a bunch more. We had 18. I sent them to the record company. I said, okay, this is my last album. You choose. And they said, we want them all. I said, well, no. And they said, we'll double the money. I said, I'm not a math major, but that sounds good. So I recorded this stuff, guys, and mixed a bunch of it. So I thought, 2 volumes. And then they saw, let's do it, Dennis DeYoung Volume 1, Volume 2. And I said, can you think of anything more pretentious? And so that's what happened. So I was faced with trying to figure out what songs go on 1 and what songs go on 2. But that's the story, Rodrigo.
Okay, awesome.
You obviously have Peterick involved with this. And just, again, to show my age, Jim Peterick and the Ides of March played my high school after prom party long ago. Who else you got involved with this? Your band from the touring set?
This album was put together by lots of people. My son played drums. Ed Breckenfeld, a guy who plays with Jim a lot, played. My guy, Mike Morello, played drums. On bass, there's my guy, Craig Carter, played a track or 2. Jim played bass on a lot of tracks. I played synth bass. Keyboards, all me. No, Jim played a little keyboard on, it was only this big, you should have seen it. He played little keyboards on Run for the Roses. The background vocals were done by me, August Zadra. Mike Morello's on there. Kevin Shelfont, my wife's on there. If I'm listening, Jim Peterick. And guitars, August Zadra from my band, Jimmy Leahy from my band, and a local guy who plays with Jim a lot, who's just outstanding, Mike Aquino. He played a lot. He played a lot of guitar on this.
Mm-hmm.
And Jim played like Hello Goodbye, the Beatles sounding track. Mm-hmm. That's Jim and I and did all the music together. Jim played Hofner bass. He played the Countryman, the Gretsch guitar. He played the Rickenbacker 12-string. Got it? We went all Beatley.
Yeah, you did. Uh-huh.
Ed Breckenfeld played Ludwig drums, Zildjian cymbals. And so 3 of us put that song together. But if I'm leaving out somebody, I'm sorry. Lots of people. played on.
Yeah. Well,
And Tom Morello, he played
yeah.
on the second volume, and Julia Lennon sang a song that I wrote for us on volume 1. So a lot of people, and that's it. That's how I did it. I'm not in a band anymore. Have you guys noticed? I think I'm not in a band anymore, so I had to go get guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious about Tom Morello's involvement. Did he approach you, or did you invite him? How did that come to happen?
I was performing at Adam Sandler's Christmas party about 4 years ago. I met him, and he told me he was a lovely guy. He said he was a Styx fan. I said, "You are?" And he said, "Yeah, I came and saw you guys at the Paradise Theater, and Kilroy was here. Saw them both, loved him, loves Mr. Roboto." And I said, "You should have been in my band." Anyway, he told me he was sitting way in the back to see Paradise Theater. I said, "You should have told me that you were going to be famous. I'd have got you up front." So, that was it. And then Jim and I wrote that song, "Last Guitar Hero." And I thought, who can we get to play? And I thought, well, Tom might be the last guitar hero because, in my opinion, he's the last guy to do something truly unique on the guitar. So I sent him the song. He said, "I love it. I'll do it." Okay. So he sent it back to me, and then he didn't say, I did that solo, but I so regretting having any relationship with Dennis. That was good. So that's it. It's just that simple. Musicians that have respect for each other, they came together and made something nice.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, you'd like to say, "Oh, yeah. Listen, you guys, if you've probably seen me talk before, have you?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just me. You understand? In 77, I told all you guys that it's a grand illusion and that we rock stars are grand illusions. I told you. I paid attention, but I thought it would be good to be honest, because I didn't want the responsibility of you thinking that I'm bigger in my britches than I am. That doesn't mean I know I'm good, Rodrigo. I'm very good. I know it. But deep inside, you and I, we share an awful lot in common. We're just scared little human beings on this planet, creating these phony baloney jobs we have to tell everybody we're more important than we are. So I thought it would be a good idea to say, if you buy into this, you'll buy into anything. Careful with your politicians, your religious leaders, whatever gangs you join, what groups you want to believe in. Do some homework. And deep inside, we're all the same.
Yeah.
One of the things that I have noted throughout the years, and certainly with the new album, you can even look at some of the titles. Saving Grace, for example. You often have words and titles that allude to grace, to faith, that sort of thing. I wonder if, with all of your experience in the business and some of the jaded nature you're going to have after dealing with that, if that has impacted your faith in a negative way.
No, I think there's only one question, Mark. You know what it is. One question, Rodrigo. It's why.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Why are we here?
Yeah.
What? Nobody gave me the manual. I don't. Did I miss a meeting? Why am I here? That's the question. And so we follow rock stars and movie stars and politicians and religious leaders. Some people follow Jim Jones. How did that work out? Not great. So because we want to believe, because we feel scared and we feel small, that somebody on this planet might have an idea and shine a light on the path that we could follow so we could be enlightened. Well, if you're looking for human beings, I think you're making a mistake, because deep inside we're all the same, and we're all a bunch of contradictions as human beings. And so I said it best in Show Me the Way. I said, every night I say a prayer in the hope that there's a heaven. That's it. We hope, because all of us feel unworthy of understanding the big picture. And some of us deal with it some ways by, shooting our big mouths off all the time, pretending we know something. I think we call those politicians. Well, sometimes we call them religious leaders. But what I like to see from mankind, especially after the pandemic, for Christ's sake, if we're ever going to learn anything, if anything says to human beings, hey, you ate so much.
Exactly.
If you get that,
Yeah.
I feel sorry for you. And I've seen people act like complete jackwagons. This last year and a half, I thought, what? So my thought is, how about a lot more humility and a lot less hubris? Try that on and follow the most important. Pretend that we're bigger than our britches.
Sure.
Oh, this has gotten so boring and dull, hasn't it, Mark? I don't know how I did that.
No, I was just asking because at least at points in the past, you're referred to as being a practicing Catholic, and
Wikipedia. That's Wikipedia. I'd like to get a shoe brush and hit him with it.
Yeah.
Fact or fiction?
Catholic. My wife is a devout Catholic. I'm this Catholic. You got to go to church again. That's the Catholic I am. But you know, I've distanced myself from the Catholic Church over the last 30 years. This is the belief system, and the belief system changed. So I just say, politically speaking, religiously speaking, which are vital, just be careful, okay? Because human beings are apt to do. You want me to explain what's happened, Mark, in this country over a year and a half?
I've been there with you.
It took me a while, but here it is. People always believe the lie they like.
Sure.
Yeah. That's what you meant by the Isle of Misanthrope, right? Is that what a misanthrope is? Yeah.
I watched the United States of America seem to be virtually comprised of hundreds of millions of jackwagons. I think, what are we arguing about here? Isn't this, the thing about the virus was, it doesn't care about you. What are you talking about? That's not, you know what I mean? Does the virus belong to the Boy Scouts of America? I don't think so. I don't know what the hell's going on. So I thought, everyone's yelling at everybody about anything. Well, social media gives us the opportunity to get a good look at humanity. I don't like it.
I don't like it either. Yeah.
I'll tell you why. You can't give human beings anonymity so they can shoot off their big mouths and operate under the theory that we can give in to our worst desires, thoughts, and angels. This is not good. Because I don't know if you heard me say this, I thought, let's bring back the fist fight. You want to say something? Say it to my face. You might get punched. But if you can hide in the corner of your bathroom while you're doing your business and say horrible things that you'd never say out loud to anybody, this is a danger. Okay? So I thought, well, that's not good. And I thought, what are we doing to ourselves here? Does everybody truly hate each other, or is it just a way to vent anger, frustration, rage, disappointment, insecurity? Have we become an Isle of Misanthropes, where everybody hates humanity because, well, they hate a particular part of humanity based on what? Am I supposed to hate that? I don't want to hate a person unless they mean me harm or my family harm. Otherwise, live and let live. I don't need to, I don't need to find reasons to hate you when I don't know you, because that's what people who manipulate other people do. You know what your problem is, Rodrigo? Them.
Yeah.
You know what I want to know? Can I have their names and addresses of them? Because I'd like to know what they're all about.
Right.
Is this boring?
No,
it's not.
Not
Absolutely
at all.
Okay.
We wanted you to express yourself in a variety of things.
Family's okay. I've
Good.
seen so many people I love get very sick and die. Not even from quarantine. It feels like, I don't know about you guys, they died? What happened to, I've seen so much in the last year and a half. I can't explain it. You've seen it in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So as we start pulling out of the quarantine, and I look ahead and see that you've actually got some gigs coming up later in the year, going into next year, are you real eager to get out there and play again?
I'm not playing until next year. Those
Right.
dates be listed, Mark,
Mhm.
because we're all hoping
Mm.
to roll stuff to when it's really safe. Mark, I don't know you, but I kind of like you. Rodrigo, if I have to come and visit you in Canada, I don't want to put your life in risk or mine.
Yes, that
And
makes sense. Yeah.
My premise, if you saw my last album with all due respect, where I say nobody knows nothing, I mean it. We got to stop pretending we know stuff we don't. And
Yeah.
I want to tour next year. I'm going to let all the bands run out and test the waters. And those bands have very big alimony payments, Rodrigo.
Correct.
I've been married 51 years. I'll be cautious. I'm 74. I
Yeah.
know someone would like to see me. I'll come out when I'm convinced we're both going to be able to enjoy that music without risking our lives.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what are you going to do over the next few months? You got both Volume 1 and Volume 2 out. You're not going to play live for several months. What kind of projects do you have going?
I'm going to watch the White Sox on their march to the pennant. I'm going to eat my wife's pizza every Sunday.
That's good.
And I'm going to see if I can exist without constantly having something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I see this is my last album, that doesn't mean if I write a song. Have we talked about this? This is 4 Zooms in a row. If I write a song, Rodrigo, and I think you might like it, I'll
You're going
record
to put it out there. Yeah.
Well, here, this is where I make all the music. See?
Nice. Yeah.
Okay, but now you're impressed. I know you are, but really, that's just the green screen of Sting's powder room. So, yeah, I'll write a song. I'll put it up, but you're not going to get an album out of me.
Okay.
Because it's too much work.
Yeah. Was it hard to make a decision to put the last album out, or was it a conscious decision, or did you have to get convinced to put out an album?
Serafino Perugino from Frontiers Records made me an offer for an album in 2017.
Okay.
He said, Davis, I want you to make a record. I said, why? I said, pourquoi?
Pourquoi?
And the thing is, look, I told him, you're in the music business. Have you noticed it's collapsed? So, but like I said, Peter had talked into it. And it's about writing songs. I wrote some. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
Some really good. And the other ones are, they're good. And I hope people listen. And even if they listen for free, write me and say, I heard your stuff. I'm not buying it because I don't like it that much. And say, this is really, I like this, or I don't like it. That's it. But if you don't like it, leave me alone. I don't care if you don't like it.
Right.
There's plenty of choices in the friendly skies. Go get with another carrier. I don't give it. I'm 74. Why should I care what you think?
Absolutely. Yeah.
When I was 74, I begged for your, please love me. I'm so needy. I beg you. Not anymore. Hey, you don't like me? Beat it.
Yeah. You know what? You and I are reversed, just like my dad. My dad is 74 too. I'm 47. So I somewhat still care about people think. But I hope to get to your point where I just simply don't care anymore. I guess it's a learning curve, right? Yeah.
Well, you care, but listen, here's human beings. There's 100 reviews of my album
Mm.
97 of them rave, and 3 of them are not good. Which ones do you think about?
The 3, of course.
Human being. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't like it. But that's how life is. So when I say I don't care to this extent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not losing sleep over you. Okay, you haven't got that power over me. I want you to like me. I don't do this to create enemies. This is not the goal.
Absolutely. Yeah. I guess the last question for me is about the last song on the album, Grand Finale, well, which has a little bit of reference to your past in Styx. So do you still keep the door open? How's the dialogue with their camp at this point in time, or?
They made a decision when I was very ill in 1999, after having 2 very successful reunion tours in 96 and 7. And in 98, we were making a brand new album. And I asked them, they wanted to go on tour. And I said, give me 6 more months, because I figured out that the virus I got in 98 was like the COVID. I became a long hauler because of what the fever did to my eyes. And I can't deal with the light like I used to. It makes me feel fatigued. And I went to the doctor, Rodrigo, and I told the doctors, I said, I lost my sense of taste and smell. What the hell's going on?
Wow.
And they looked at me and they went, So that's what I had. And so they said, we want to go. 2 guys, not a band. Don't say Styx like it's 5 guys. Tommy Shaw, James Young, 2 guys, and me. And we were recording an album together. And then they said, we want to go on tour. I said, 6 more months. Let's finish the album. I'm getting my strength back. I realize I have to wear sunglasses. And they took the name and they put somebody in my place. That's what happened. And since that's a bad story to tell, Mark, replacing sick colleague for money and power, they came up with the idea that Mr. Roboto from 1983 and Babe from 1979 had some bearing on the future or the present. Of course, it didn't. So tell that cock and bull story that if you didn't like this about us, he'd have won what done it. We just had huge tours in 96 and 97. What does that got to do with anything? But they told that story, and they told it, and they told it, and people believed. I was sick. I didn't fight back. So it's a sad thing for Styx fans. And so I've said all along, more tour for the Styx fans, for no other reason but to thank those people for making us the successful and wealthy people we are. Because they deserve to see Mo, Larry, and Curly on the stage. But there was, as recently as about a couple months ago, some promoters went and said, man, would that be a big tour? Rodrigo, you'd be there.
I would, absolutely. Yeah.
Anybody who likes Styx is coming. That's it. And I think I was told at the time, he said no. So it's not, send your cards or letters someplace else. Talk to me about it. I know that's what the fans want. Even the group that has decided to believe the stories that were told about me and only like the new Styx, they're coming. No matter what they say, they're coming. Yeah. Because they see it. But no, Mark, I'm expecting you to, I want you to write your local congressman and change this.
Mark's going to do it.
That's right. I have to ask this because there's another person who's not part of that conversation, at least directly, and that's Chuck. Is he living in Chicago?
No, I don't tell people where people live, but Chuck and I have been in contact for the last year and a half.
You have, good.
Via email, because I need to, I had some video I wanted to do on that Julian Lennon song, To the Good Old Days. And I needed his permission. He said, absolutely. Now, he has sent me the nicest emails. We've been talking that way about the music I'm making. We only wish each other well. We were the guys that started this thing in my basement in 1962. So, but really, this is Tommy Shaw's band. Mark, you know that, don't you?
Of course.
Okay, Tommy, it's what he wants to do. JY, you know, God bless his heart. We were best buddies for the longest time. He has to do what Tommy wants to do. And the other guys, they're hired guys. You know, they're not really Styx, because Styx would be the people who own that name. That's, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
it's Tommy's band. I mean, I noticed Tommy on the Styx Facebook. It's Tommy for the most part. And he went on Daryl Hall's thing by himself. Didn't say what? You know, he does symphony shows by himself. It's not what? That's it. Okay. I love Tommy. Tommy! I still love you, brother. I really do. Man, did we make some good music together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Rejoice in that music. And the fan base, I said, my apologies. By replacing me, it turned you guys against each other and created such animosity about both camps that was so unnecessary, unwarranted, and soul-crushing for somebody like me,
Sure.
who just wanted to be in the band that millions of people loved. Rodrigo!
Yeah.
You were one. So were you. Otherwise, why the heck talking to me? All right, let's talk about 26. Not bad.
Yeah.
No, it's a great album.
No, it's a great album.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you very much. Good night. Who am I to disagree? Yeah. Travel the world. I tried to make it so none of the songs were filler. Now, for some people, it might be, you know, because I know there is a contingency of people who exist who like rock music, who, to use their words, find any ballad cringeworthy. So anything to do that soft and loving and sweet suddenly becomes cringeworthy. I said, have you never had love in your life? Have you never dreamed? Have you been hurt that badly? I just don't get it. You know, Elvis did Hound Dog, and the next thing was Love Me Tender, for God's sakes, you stupids.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand it. Do I respect it? No. Music is this, imagine this, like science, it's huge. And all the different aspects they're all there to be explored and enjoyed and bring your soul. Listen, do we talk about how powerful music is as opposed to art and movies? Do we talk about that yet? No. Check this out. Can you read your favorite book 100 times? No. How about your favorite movie? 100 times you're going to watch it? You are?
Probably not. No.
Am I going to go to the Louvre and look at the Mona Lisa for a month? It's not very attractive to me. I'm not looking. Am I going to stare at Jackson Pollock and go, I think that's splatter? No, I don't care. But a song, you can play 100 times. You can play the album 100 times.
100,000 and over.
Different.
Yeah.
That's different. It connects to the soul. Magically, mysteriously, no one knows how, in a way that is so human. And so what I think is, that's a good thing. I'm glad I got involved. I'm glad my mother, said play accordion when I was 7, sort of. Why did she tell me to play the piano? I'd have been so much better. So anyway, guys, I'm an accordion player, Beatle dreaming. And so when you hear on this last album, if you hear a song that doesn't go as an 11 and at the top of its lungs and speeding through the music, that doesn't mean it isn't quality. I'm not saying you got to like it, but good grief. If I have to make the same pizza 12 times in a row, you've got AC/DC for that.
Absolutely. And that's not a bad thing, but
nobody's ever done it better than AC/DC.
Yeah.
Okay. And Bon Scott was the best to me, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. You should cover that song, man.
No, don't.
So anyway, what my point is, it's not going to be one thing for me. I got more to explore and say, and if you want to come along, welcome to the Grand Illusion.
Awesome. Well,
I'd like to ask, could I ask one more question?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. You have done some work in musical theater. Certainly when you were in Jesus Christ Superstar, the show as Pontius Pilate, you also did The Hunchback. I was going through something, some kids in the San Diego area put together a show called Mr. Roboto, I guess, based on your music. Have you thought any more about doing that sort of thing, taking the songs that you've got and putting them together maybe in a theatrical perspective?
I have had a number of offers to do that, but you got to have a book that ties it together, Mark. Otherwise, it's just it's poppycock. I've never seen a book that ties those Styx songs together in a meaningful way, so I've said no to all of it. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you my involvement in Broadway. You don't know the story. You only know the lies. You only know the lies. Mm-hmm. I never had any ambition to be in the theater. All I wanted to do with my buddy Jeff Ravitz, who was our LD and set designer for Styx.
Right.
So we record a gold album in 1991, 92. Enter Sandman. No, grunge comes in and kills a bunch of bands like us, really steals our thunder. We couldn't get a record deal after having a #3 single and a gold album. I said, okay, I can take no for an answer. I'm backing off. We had offers to go and play, the Lithuanian sausage festival. We got a bunch of offers for that kind of stuff. I said, no. Now, the other guys, Bert, Nick, and the other 3, they thought that would be cool. I said, hey, it's not Styx. I got a loftier opinion of who we should be. No, I'm doing nothing. I got no job. A couple of years go by. My sister-in-law gets married. I fly out to the wedding. I never met the guy. At the reception, we meet. Hey, how you doing? I said, I'm Forbes Candlish. I am the executive producer of the 20th anniversary reunion tour of Jesus Christ Superstar, the movie. And I want you to be Pontius Pilate.
Oh, wow. Out of nowhere.
I said, Forbes, every 6 months or so, Rodrigo, you have to empty your bong water. So he kept on me. I said, this guy's nuts. Guess what? I didn't have a job. I said, do I want to do this? I didn't, but I said, okay, I'll go and meet the director. I go to New York. Okay, I'll try it. I did it for 6 months, 280 shows. Did it in New York and Broadway. While I'm doing it, I said, out of 8 shows a week, who wants to do this? As an actor, that's what you do. So I started writing a musical. I said, I'll write one. I'll sit at home and let somebody else do it 8 shows a week. It's a good job. You go do it. I'll be here watching the ball game. So I wrote The Hunchback, and I got producers. And I'll do that. Suddenly, A&M Records says, oh, I forgot to. So I'm in, how did I get the job as an actor on Broadway? I had a brother-in-law. So I'm doing it in LA. The president of Atlantic Records, head of A&R of Atlantic, Danny Goldberg, who managed me during Desert Moon and for about 3 years. He's now working at a record company. He says, hey, I saw you, man. You want to make a Broadway album? I said, is there money involved? I made 10 on Broadway. I didn't look for the job, but somebody said, you want to do it? Okay, boom. So I'm writing the musical. Are you with me so far, Rodrigo?
I am.
Yeah. I get producers. They want to do it. 95, A&M calls up. We finally want to make a Styx Greatest Hits. We screwed it up every time we've tried it for 10 years. I sure have, you dumbasses. So we can't get the rights to do Lady. So I think, what if we re-record it and we get Shaw to sing on it since he wasn't on it? Mm-hmm. So I call Shaw. He comes to my house in Frankfurt. We do the song. And we go, hey, what are you doing, Tommy? Nothing. What are you doing, Styx? Nothing. So promoters get the smell that these guys are in the same room again. Hey, there's money involved.
Come play here. Yeah.
So we go and do some TV, and then everyone's going, hey, just the three of us, acoustic, Regis and Kathy Lee, whatever we did. Suddenly, Styx fans from out of the woodwork say, I like them. I liked them then, I like them now. We do a tour. We decided to tour. But in the interim, I get, 1994, before that happens, I get producers. And we start working on the Hunchback. And then they do a workshop, and we do this, a little production. 1997, it's planned to put the first production of My Hunchback at Notre Dame in Nashville. And it's on the books before Tommy comes. I even know we're going to do a tour. So I was working on this. They invested $750,000 into that first production.
Oh, wow.
So Styx suddenly is back together. They plan a tour for 96. Okay. 97, we're supposed to do the premiere. And so Styx, the plan was we'll do the tour in 96, and 97, we'll do our first studio album. That way Dennis, you can work on your Hunchback, because we know people put money up for that sumbitch. And you can work in the studio. We can make this record. I said, cool. But in December or November of 96, after the 96 tour, I get a call from the manager that says, Tommy Shaw would like to know if you could do some tour dates next year because he has a cash flow problem. I thought, and I looked at my schedule because it was really, I said, what about the album? He said, well, we'll do it in 98. I said, okay. So I worked myself to death trying to producing an album for Styx, double live, doing the casting, the workshop, the this, the that, and the thing. I never stopped for 10 months. And then I got really sick a month after all that ended. And then a year and a half later, I was replaced in my own band while we were making a new record together. So let me just qualify this. I ended up on Broadway because I had a brother-in-law. Mm-hmm. Anything I did, I love Broadway. Don't get me wrong. I didn't want, did I say I wanted to be Robert Goulet? I wanted to be, look at the picture behind you. I wanted to be in the goddamn Beatles.
Yeah.
I was in Styx. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I ever wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't quit the band in 83. I didn't quit. I wanted the band to keep going, but Tommy had other plans for himself. Yeah. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Fair enough.
Never Broadway. Does that answer you? Is that the longest answer to a question you have ever heard about Broadway, Mark, or what?
What was the question? No.
That's why, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame, the Skylight Theater in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Next June or May, will premiere there. It's going to be unbelievable. It was supposed to be last year, but I think something happened last year.
Yes, I wonder what. No, okay. Dennis, we want to thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for 2 great records. It's a great way to finish your career. Fingers crossed that we can see you on the stage sometime soon, either by yourself or with Styx. So thank you so much.
Guys, you've been a pleasure. Do me a favor, will you? Don't say bad things about me.
Of course not. How could we?
Of course not.
Hi, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dennis. You take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.